Greetings, my dear viewers. I appreciate you for the fact that you have been able to comment. I appreciate you for the time, for the positive remarks, for the inquiries. I appreciate every single attention you give to my videos. Please, thank you so much. Is your ICT tutor, ICT facilitator, Mutebi Ratib. Today we are going to be looking at database management activity number 2, where the learner is to be opened up to multiple skill sets in line with database management. We are to look at a simple question paper from the MOOC's ICT examination consult, where we are to have a deep discussion. Don't forget to pause and play so that we can move on the same page. Putting this down again to re-echo and to make it clear for everyone that wants to reach out, to ask for any support. You have a question, please. My name again is Mutebi Ratib and my contact is 0784 657421, and my channel name in YouTube is Mutebi Ratib. Let's move straight to the item and see what we have in today's segment. The item is from the MOOC's ICT examination consult, information and communication technology. We are to look at database management in today's segment. Don't forget that I love you so much for the zeal, love, attention. I appreciate, and you are my superstar. So let us continue. This is the task we are going to be cracking down. They're telling us that your country is about to hold a national census, and Uganda Bureau of Statistics is looking for a good database administrator to manage population database. You have been contacted to design and test your database with the records extracted from the Commission's employee record. So it means we have a support file there. They're telling us that load a database program and save it as population census. Import the table in the support file called Uganda Bureau of Statistics and name it as BS table. Create a simple form for the records. Use the form created to calculate the pay as you earn, which is deducted from salary at the rate of 5%. Create a report to show the net salary of the employees after a 5% deduction. Create a query displaying only female voters. Create another query to display all male voters. And then we shall be wrapping up by saving our work in a folder that we shall also print at the end. So now I want us to just dive deep into the practical elements to see that we can work together and learn something in today's session. Remember, we are doing an item from the MOOC's ICT examination consult. Let's see how the learner was supposed to attend to this question as a way of learning and expanding our knowledge in database management using Microsoft Access database. Okay, so we are to start by creating a simple folder so that we have where we shall be saving. This is Mutebi Ratib 009 is our personal number for today. And then putting this down, I will move on now to have a glimpse onto the support material. We have one here called Uganda Bureau of Statistics, which is an Excel file. I will then come, let me drop it here for easy retrieval and access. Now, getting back to the question, they are telling us that load a database program and save it as population census. I'll come over here, right click, go to option new, then look for Microsoft Access database. I'm going to save it as, let me be clear and sure, they are telling us that we need to save this as population census. Okay, so I'll come back here, I say rename, I want to name it as population census. Okay, after saving it as instructed, I'll go on and load it, open it by double clicking or right click and choose option open. After putting that down, I'll come back to the question paper here. They're telling us that import the table in the support file called Uganda Bureau of Statistics and name it as BS table. Let's see, how do we import in database management? I have my DB open here. So to import, we are supposed to go to external data and then go to new data source, go to from file, and then since you want to retrieve a file from Excel, I'll click Excel, and then after that, I'll go and click the option browse. Browse means to search. So I'll click browse, and then I access my desktop. My folder is called Mutebi Ratib 009. So I'll click there. I then access a file called Uganda Bureau of Statistics. I will tap on it. I click open, and then I click OK. And when we reach here, they're telling us that first row contains column headings. Please activate that by ticking and then click next. Then we reach here, just move on and click next. We shall change that the other side. Then this is a key area that we need to focus on. Let access add primary key, choose my own primary key or no primary key at all. But since I have a voter's ID, I want to say choose my own primary key, which it will be my voter ID. I click next. I click, they want us to save it as a different name, but let me just first finish here. I click close. So when I get back here, we have our table imported from spreadsheet into Access. When you double tap, you see that everything is over here. So now allow me still first check the question paper. Import the table in the support file called Uganda Bureau of Statistics and name it as BS table, capital B, capital S table. So I will first come here and then rename my table. They want us to name it as BS table. So I will come here and say BS table. As simple as that. After naming, that's how we name a table. You right click, go to option rename, then you are able to edit that out. So after putting this down, let us go back to the question here. They are telling us that so far we have some 2 marks being achieved here. So create a simple form for the records shown in the table above. Name the form BS form. Okay, I'll get back to my table again to first make sure that we have correct data types. So I will check through, I see, try to go to home, go to design view, and then see voter ID. Is it a short text? Yes. Name, short text? Yes. Sex, short text? Yes. Date of birth? Yes. Now under date of birth, we are to take date or time. Then we shall come to format, and then we shall go on to select a format that tallies with what we have in the question paper. So we have this medium date, and then after that, constituency, we have short text, and then salary, we have a currency or number. You can take number since we already have the units attached onto the field name over here. So after getting the data well set, I will Control S, save changes, and then I click yes. I get back here, and we shall have everything clear, everything set for us to start manipulating the package to see that we get some marks. Thank you for watching. Please, let's just pause, play, so that we can move together. Now, after doing that, create a simple form for the records shown in the table above. Name the form BS form, only that. So I'll now move here. Let me close this object. I click yes. Then I'll go to create. I say form wizard. After reaching here, I want to use an object called BS table. After making sure that this is the object of interest, I'll go on to put all these fields onto the selected section by just clicking onto these symbols. Click on them and then click next. We are to take columnar as our layout. Then I will take next. If you want to modify, you're free to come and do any adjustment, but at this time I want us to only focus on the examiner's interests. You create a simple form for the records shown in the table above. name the form BS form. We are to only focus on that. So we are to come here and we name it as BS form. Then I click finish. When I click finish, our form is up here and running, all set. Let us just take a glimpse. Assuming I want to print out this form, how will it look like? Go to File, go to Print, check the print preview, see all our information has been tallied in a portrait layout, and everything is over here. So let me close this. I continue with the plan. What else are we having? Create a form. We are done with that. Then after we go to part D. Use the form created to calculate the pay as you earn, PAYE, which is deducted from salary at the rate of 5%. Use form footer and insert your names and personal number. Print the form and the table above. So they want us to create a simple form, but in this form, we are tasked to calculate PAYE, pay as you earn. So we have to calculate this, but they're telling us that pay as you earn is deducted from the salary at the rate of 5%. So we want to get this 5% to be our pay as you earn. So now, how do we do that? We are to create. They're telling us that we use the form, again, to make it clear for you. Use the form created above. Remember, we have created a form above called BS form. They want us to use this form to calculate the pay as you earn. So I'll move up here, open my form again. I check the design view here. When I check the design view now, I'll move and start getting things done well over here. So now this is my area of interest where I want to manipulate my information from. So what I will do, I will go on. I can decide to come copy, Control C, and then paste. When I paste, I will come, I relocate it over here. When I relocate it, I've just duplicated the field. Then I just want to just change the labels and the information so that we have the correct information. To re-echo again, what I did was to come onto this section, tap on it, Control C, Control V, and then we shall have copied and pasted. Remember, at this point, I want to use this form to calculate PAYE, or pay as you earn. So I'll come over here and say PAYE, pay as you earn. Then I come into this area, I calculate my pay as you earn, which is 5% of the salary that these voters will be able to take home. So I'll come over here, I say equal signs what? 5%. We can keep it simple, 0.05, which is our 5%. Shift asterisk, 5% of what? Of salary. Open square brackets over here. Type this label the way it is here. Don't change anything. Come and say salary, space, open brackets, SHS. Just replicate everything the way you've been able to put it into the label section that we have up here. So now I'll come and close the square bracket. When I close the square bracket, let me close this window. When I close the square bracket and then I check the form view here, we see that we have our pay as you earn, which is PAYE, well computed over here. I can now go on to check the other voters to see, do we have the pay as you earn? Just using the button here called the next record. I will come here. We see that we have, this is Mufulusi, we have Wambede, we have Athieno, we have Katunguka, and Kayanja, etc. And we have the pay as you earn well calculated in this form. Okay, let me Control S, I put this down. Okay, now I'll get back to my question again to see whether I have touched each and every element. They're telling us that use form footer and insert your name and personal number. Print the form and the table. They want me to put my name and personal number in the footer. Let me first attend to that. Open my form again, then go to design view. When I reach here, I will make sure that I expand the section where I want to put my footer. I come to the ribbon here under the form tab. I access what we call a label. A label is just an option that we tend to take up if at all you want to create a space or an area where you can type work. They want me to put my name, Mutebi Ratib 009, my personal number. Then after doing that, I'll Control S and then close this. Yes. So now let us move on. They're telling us that after doing that, create a report to show the net salary of the employees after a 5% PAYE deduction from salary. Use the report designed to include your names and personal number in the header and the name, and name the report net pay. So they want us to create a report now, but this report should show net pay. But how are we computing net pay? How are we computing net salary? We are computing net salary after having the 5% deductions done of the PAYE from the salary. Then the money that will remain will be our net salary. So how are we composing this report? Remember the objects we have. We have a form, and we can't use this form to compose a report. And the other, we have what we call the BS table. And the BS table, we don't have net pay at all. So, and our interest is to create a report. So what I will do, I will create a simple query, and then in this query, I will go on to compute the pay as you earn. At the same time, I also go on to compute the net salary. Then I will use that object to replicate or come up with my report. So now I will go to create. I click query wizard. I want to click OK. And then here, when we reach here, choose this object called BS table. Come put all these fields onto the selected section. Click next. Click next. Let us save it as maybe net salary query, because it's just helping us to access the report. Net salary query. So we shall click modify and then click finish. When we click finish, we shall just come over here. We create over 2 other extra fields. The first field will be PAYE, and then the other field will be, we wanted to make this. Let me make it a bit clear again. Let us first compute PAYE. So I will come over here, put columns, and then we go to the builder section here. I say, let me first compute PAYE, which is 0.05 of what? Shift asterisk of the salary. Then when we have this here, you can go on to click OK. When I click OK, let me first run my query, Control S, run the query. When you run the query, we have at least our PAYE. But the interest, we want to compute the net salary. And we can only get the net salary after deducting pay as you earn from the salary. So what I will do, let me get back my design view of the query, come over here, create another field, which we are to call net salary, and then put columns. Then you go back under the builder option on your ribbon, and then we set our mathematical formula. So to get net salary, it means I'm going to get my salary here. Then from the salary, you subtract the pay as you earn. And then we shall go on to erase this expression that we have, so that our formula is clear. Salary minus pay as you earn. Then I'll come and click OK. After clicking OK, I will run my query. So when we run the query, we see that we have pay as you earn and we have net salary. But getting back to the examiner's interest, they are telling us that create a report to show the net salary. So I have used a table called BS table to create a query that can reflect net salary. Then I'm going to just move on to this. Then I create a report which will really show what the examiner wants us to portray down. Use the report design to include your names and the person number in the header. So now we shall name this report as report net pay. So I'll come over here. Let me close this. Click yes. I'll go to create. I click report wizard. I come over here. I want to use this object called the net salary query. Then I'll go on to start running it down. Let us say we want to have that field, that field, that field, that field, that, this, and maybe the net salary. I also put it there. Now we only want to reflect that. Though you can also put the pay as you earn, which is also okay. Though the examiner wanted us to only to focus more on the net salary. That's why I'm putting it this side. So I'll click next, next, next. Then I prefer we take columnar for management purpose. Then I click next. Then when I reach here, remember they are telling us that we save this report as net, name the report net pay. We need to name the report net pay. As simple as that. Yes. Lowercase net pay. We have to click modify. We click finish. Why are we modifying? Because they want us to put our use the report design to include your names and person number in the header. Yes, they want us to put our names in the header. So now I can put this. I can also go on to customize maybe a report. Can put a heading, a report showing net salary. You put it there. But they want us to put our name in the header. I'll come back here. I choose label. I come and create a section where I'll put my name and personal number, Mutebi Ratib 009. Okay, I'll put it there. I Control S to save changes. Let us check the report view to see how our report will look like. Yes, this is our report. We have our header, we have our net salary, and everything is well tallied and put over here. So this will be our report. As we print out, we shall have our report in this columnar structure. Yes, now away from that, people watching, I appreciate you so much. The item we are doing is from the MOOTS ICT Examination Consult. We are trying to look into database management, where we are looking at simple skill sets that learners have to put onto their tip as they go into their ICT exams, both at O and A level. Now, continuing, when we check here, they are telling us that create a query displaying only female voters who are earning a salary below 500,000. Name the query less paid females. Create a query. The conditions are you should be a female and you should be earning below 500,000. So now I will move on. We are to use this object because we shall only focus on salary. So I will move on, click create, query wizard. I click OK. I say this is my object of interest. I put this side. I click next. We are to save it as less paid females. Click modify, click finish. When you reach here, the conditions are you should be a female, capital F, it should be in quotes, and then your salary should be below, less than 500,000. Now when I come here and run, we only said we have achieved only females and their salary is below 500,000, and we have named it as less paid females. I'll Control S, I close this object, I go on to the other question. Create another query to display all male voters born before 1981 and name it aged males. Born before 1981. Before 1981 should be a male. So I'll come over here. I'm going to use this object. I go to create, query wizard, click here, and then this is our object of interest. Put all the fields this side by checking this option. Click next, come over here. We are to save it as, I don't want to make a mistake. We are naming it as aged males. Aged males. I'll come over here. I say aged males. We are going to modify. Click finish. The conditions are you should be a male. I'll put M over here. And then remember we have two conditions that we need to satisfy. Every time you have multiple conditions that you have to satisfy at the same time, please, you put them under the criteria row here. So I'll move to date, where we have date of birth. Then we drop in our date. It should be less than the hash, and then you start tallying in the date. You say 1st of Jan, what? 1981. Then you put the hash over there. So it means that every male person and their date of birth is below this set date. We shall be able to see their results if we run the query. Let's see. When I run the query, we see that we have only 2 male colleagues. We have Mufulusi and Bada, who are born before 1981. As simple as that. So you can also go on to prove that by proofreading through your data to see that we have correct results. Okay, after getting the aged males, what else do we have at stake? Is there anything else we need? Aged, we have answered this, Save your database in your folder, we did that, and then produce a printout. So it means the candidate has to produce a printout for all these objects. Assuming you want to print your first table, you tap on it, and then let me first close everything. Save. I will want to print this, double tap. Then you go to File, you go to Print. You can check the print preview to see that your work fits. You're free to change to landscape if at all your columns don't fit, and then you can go on to print. You move on to another object, till when you finish all these other objects. Thank you for watching. It has been your ICT facilitator, ICT tutor, working with the MOOTS ICT examination consult under database management activity number 2. We are to upload our activity number 3 as we follow through. My tel number 0784657421 for any inquiries. God bless. I love you.